CBS 21 News begins with breaking news.
Thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Candace Scalise. We begin with breaking news of a police incident happening right now out of Lancaster County. You are taking a live look at the scene. This is the intersection of Queen and King Street. It is jammed, as you can see, with police vehicles, with an EMS truck, with an ambulance right there. Now, our reporter Luke Birdsall behind the camera right now, he did see a bomb squad on the scene earlier today, but we have not. Breaking at noon, Chief Justice Roberts confirming the draft opinion on Roe versus Wade is authentic. The draft opinion leaked to Politico last night suggests the Supreme Court's conservative majority is set to change course. Chief Justice Roberts is ordering an investigation into what he calls an egregious breach of trust. Breaking news at noon. You are taking a live look right now at the White House, where President Biden is expected to address the nation in 30 minutes. This as Russian troops have launched a wide-range attack on Ukraine. Taking a live look there now as Ukraine says Russian President Vladimir Putin launched a full-scale invasion. Video shows helicopters flying over Kyiv's outskirts after Russia ordered a military offensive in Ukraine. Ukraine media reported the helicopters were Russian. Putin warned other countries that any attempt to interfere would lead to, quote, consequences you have never seen. Ukraine's leadership said at least 40 people have been killed so far in what it called a full-scale war, targeting the country from the east, north, and south. We begin with breaking news out of Luzerne County, where a deadly fire ripped through a residential neighborhood. Sarah Goulden from our sister station at Fox 56 is joining us now live from the scene. Sarah, what is the latest here?
Officials have told us at least 3 people are dead, but there are still many that are accounted for.
Sarah, thank you. Right now, 2 men are in custody after this police chase yesterday in a stolen police cruiser down Carlisle Pike. Take a look at this video. Police ended up executing a pit maneuver to stop the vehicle. Now, according to police, the carjackers, Malik Clover and Hanif Pell, they fled. They were later found and arrested. The 2 men are being charged with a number of offenses, including robbery, fleeing, and eluding. A fire caught on camera inside the Walmart on 60 Noble Boulevard in Carlisle. Hannah Wetzel taking this video last night. She says she heard 2 popping noises, and when she looked around the corner, the toy section was on fire.
Just like loud pop, and you know the age that we live in, like, I was like, oh no. Like, to me, it sounded like a shooting. So I kind of just froze and, like, went back to, like, looking at, like, the hair care stuff. And then I heard another loud pop.
And take a look at this, a massive junkyard fire in Philadelphia, tires and cars burning to rubble. Officials say there is no danger of the fire spreading to the community and nobody was injured, but I mean, you can see just how large those flames are. Investigators are still trying to figure out what started the blaze. A mother is grieving the loss of her teenage son after he was killed in South Lebanon Township Tuesday evening. Police are searching for answers. CBS 21's Samantha York is joining us now with a request from his family. Samantha.
Candace, what a tragic story. Police say 13-year-old Jason Rivera was gunned down here Tuesday night and he lost his life. Today we're hearing from his family a plea for help, seeking answers as police say this was not a random act of violence.
No child deserves to suffer in the way this child did. This family deserves justice.
Again, police are saying this was not a random act of violence and the investigation is ongoing. The family is reaching out for help for the community, saying that they also want to protect other families from feeling the same pain. We'll hear more from them tonight. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Samantha. You could feel their grief with them talking. Right now, authorities are still searching for answers in Lancaster County after police say a man killed a 12-year-old in the Columbia Borough. 39-year-old Jason Shackelford facing additional charges this morning after police discovered the body of a young girl in a freezer in a basement. Shackelford admitted to police he raped and killed his girlfriend's 12-year-old daughter, Elena Smith, on February 8th. Now the girl's father, Dwayne Smith, is speaking in a YouTube video about the impact his daughter not only had on his life, but the legacy that she leaves behind. Right now, a Montgomery County woman is being charged with endangering the welfare of a child and reckless endangerment after her 6-year-old son was found with a loaded handgun at school. Authorities say Jasmine Devlin failed to secure the gun in her home. According to police, on February 9th at Joseph K. Gottwalls Elementary School, officials found this gun in his bag after multiple students reported seeing it on the school bus. Some new information coming out about the officer-involved shooting on Brittany Drive in Carlisle. Police identifying the shooter as 54-year-old Roger Wayne Ellis. Authorities say that officers were serving a warrant to Ellis for fleeing and eluding police, among other warrants. Ellis reportedly welcomed them inside. When officers approached, police say Ellis fired a gun, hitting a North Middleton Township police officer. Police say a 14-year-old was killed and 4 others injured in an ambush attack in Philadelphia yesterday afternoon while the boys were walking off the field of a football scrimmage. It happened outside Roxborough High School. Police believe there were 2 attackers. A 14 to 17-year-old were taken to a hospital with injuries, but they are in stable condition.
And so there's a family today, again, not taking anything away from the other families, but there's one family that their son won't make it home today.
According to police, the injured victims all played for Roxborough High School. So far, no arrests have been made. Floridians are bracing for Hurricane Ian, a strong Category 3 major hurricane expected to make landfall today. This is a live look at Fort Myers Beach. You can see some folks driving right here, that rain coming down. Thanks for joining us right here on your Wednesday, September 28th. I'm Candace Scalise. We have been tracking the storm, and volunteers from Pennsylvania stationed in Florida getting ready to help those who are in need. The Red Cross says 8 people from the Commonwealth have been deployed and more people are on standby. They're going to determine where those volunteers go after the storm hits. Officials with PPL say they also plan to send crews if they are needed. However, they say it will depend on how far north the storm travels. Luke Birdsall is in the Alert Center this morning with the very latest on Ian's impact in Cuba and where the storm is now heading. We then head to meteorologist Steve Knight about how Ian could impact us right here at home. First, let's check in with Luke. Hey, Luke, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Well, in the Alert Center, huge waves of water seen crashing all over the seawall and onto the streets of Cuba there. Officials say the entire island is now without power, killing at least 2 people in the process. The storm caused the power grid to completely collapse, and in Key West, flooding soaked the streets, residents showing flooding inside of their homes as the water there continues to rise. As Ian heads towards southwestern Florida, it's already showing its potential for destruction. Now, exactly where Ian will crash ashore still remains uncertain as the trajectory has since changed. Now, some 2.5 million people in the region were ordered actually advised to evacuate ahead of its landfall expected today. Now, officials warn it could take crews days to reach down lines once the storm passed, as winds could reach 130 miles per hour. Now, just hours away from landfall, residents of Tampa Bay are now preparing for the worst. Megan Gillian is now bringing us the very latest last-minute preparations.
The rain now starting to fall, the wind picking up just a little bit. We are here at Tampa General Hospital, and if you take a look behind me here, over the last 24 hours, crews have spent time bolting those giant shields there to try and protect everyone inside from what could be a devastating storm surge. And when you see how close to the water this hospital sits, you understand. See the bridge right there? Well, that is the water right beneath it there. You start to understand the concern here when we talk about a 6-foot storm surge. Right now, those water levels are rising, and so is the anticipation for what this could bring. Back here at the hospital, patients here have not been evacuated as of yet. We know they are taking precautions and, of course, bracing for the worst. Some residents telling us that they have not seen preparations like this since 2004 when Charlie, remember Charlie? That's when Charlie tore through. In Tampa Bay, I'm Megan Gilland.
All right, now we do have your latest update on what's going on with Ian here, because we just got the 5 a.m. update and it is now a Category 4 storm. We're talking about max sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. So yeah, throughout Florida, they are bracing for the worst of Ian. In fact, a live look here.
Clouds in the sky. Again, we're saying the calm before the storm. So PennDOT and the Turnpike Commission are telling drivers to avoid unnecessary travel. Crews did pre-treat the road. PennDOT is asking drivers to be aware of speed and restrictions during the storm. Restrictions will be communicated on message boards and through 511 PA alerts on the app or website. The storm is expected to bring 1 to 3 inches of snow to the area. We will have live coverage today at noon. In the meantime, auto technicians saying even though PennDOT switched to salts and chemicals that are more environmentally friendly, it can eat away at the underside of your car, especially in trucks and all-wheel drive cars.
Go to an automatic car wash or some type of car wash, and especially pay attention to the underside of your vehicle. You get a stone chip on your paint or underneath your car from a curb hit, and then that salt and any kind of chemical just eats the metal and causes it to rust, and then the rust just spreads like a virus.
Some advice to prevent major damage is to simply get a car wash 36 to 48 hours after a storm. And you can stay ahead of the storm and weather by downloading the free CBS 21 weather app. You can find it in your phone's app store by searching CBS 21 WX. That, of course.
Live from Central Pennsylvania, this is CBS 21 News This Morning, Election 2022.
The next governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro. Thank you all so very much.
Well, there we have it. After months of campaigning, we have the projected winners for U.S. Senate and governor right here in PA. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on this post-election morning. I'm Candace Scalise. A lot of election results to get to this morning and still some undecided races across the nation. We'll talk about that in minutes. Let's first talk about PA. Josh Shapiro projected to be the next governor of Pennsylvania. John Fetterman, the state's current lieutenant governor, projected to win PA's open U.S. Senate seat, defeating celebrity TV doctor Mehmet Oz. I'm here with Luke Birdsall this morning. He is breaking everything down when it comes to mail-in votes, when it comes to this race, how close it was. Let's talk about that Senate race. This is a look at the results right here. We can see that red check mark next to John Fetterman. Did mail-ins play a role in this projected win, Luke? What are you seeing?
Of course.
Yeah, we'll keep up with that. Megan Majinski is live this morning. We're talking about 2 major statewide races with Luke, but Megan is talking about those local races in your neighborhood, those senators that you know and the representatives here in PA. So she's joining us live from the state capitol with more on who is going to be representing you in the General Assembly. Good morning, Megan.
Hi, Candace. Yeah, this morning I'm covering a different county each half hour. So right now we're going to focus on Cumberland County. I
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Taking the oath of office, history in the making. Waking up this morning, Pennsylvania has a new governor and a new lieutenant governor. With a hand on 3 Hebrew Bibles, Josh Shapiro is now Pennsylvania's 48th governor. He didn't address specific policy plans during his inauguration speech. He did touch on protecting abortion rights, which was a key of his campaign, as well as the idea of rejecting extremism. He preached bipartisanship and says he wants to work with Republicans, something Republican leaders say they're hoping for.
Power for the sake of power, conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere.
Before a newly divided Congress last night, President Biden delivering a clear message in his State of the Union address. Let's finish the job. The president issuing a plea for unity. As the parents of Tyree Nichols looked on, the president called on lawmakers to pass police reform. He also took a swipe at Republicans on entitlement programs, saying some Republicans want to cut Social Security and Medicare. That evoked boos from the crowd. He then spun it in his favor.
Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy of the proposal. Social Security and Medicare is off the books now, right? They're not to be started.
All right, so to break down the state of the union, we spoke to our CBS 21 political insiders talking about Democratic strategist Brittany Camprice and Republican strategist Charlie Giroux. Here's how they felt about the president's address.
Liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
Wow, that sounded so encouraging, didn't it? The third time's the charm for NASA's Artemis rocket. After 8 months of back and forth from its launch pad, we have liftoff.
It's New Year's Eve week and now I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna party.
All those people clapping like, good for you, we want our baggage too. Yeah, a sea of baggage, in fact. Frustrated and weary travelers.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory.
What a way to wake up this morning. Jalen Hurts delivering that slightly painful rendition of Fly, Eagles, Fly after beating the 49ers. The Birds are going to the bowl and Pennsylvanians are rejoicing.
All right, are you getting ready? Super Bowl 57 just 3 days away. The Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs facing off for NFL supremacy just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. This morning, that's where we find Chris Daniels. He is live with a preview. Chris, sounds like it's been a celebration leading up to this big game all week long. Good morning.
And good morning to you in Harrisburg and Gettysburg and through the Cumberland Valley. We are live this morning for you here in Phoenix, Arizona. The teams, as you know, like the Eagles, have flown west already, have been here throughout the week, but there are a ton of events like the Super Bowl experience where we are standing right now. Yes, the game still a few days away, but the show has already come to town.
It's been 8 years since Arizona hosted a Super Bowl.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
And Pennsylvanians across the Commonwealth cheering on BA's own Philadelphia Eagles. Even the smallest of eaglets, like some young fans from Milton Hershey School, showing their spirit.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Milton Hershey's commitment to being part of the Bird Gang doesn't stop there either. In Founders Hall, the Chimes are playing Fly, Eagles, Fly anthem too. Lots of fun there. The Birds fly into the Super Bowl stadium in just 3 days to meet their match, the Kansas City Chiefs.
We are at Duck Donuts this morning. They've got some specialty donuts coming up for the Super Bowl, for Valentine's Day. February is actually one of their busiest times of the year, and we'll be talking about how it helps them coming up after the break.
Hey, take a look at this. Talking about the Super Bowl, this is a live look right here as we head to break from the State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, where the Eagles are flying into play on Sunday.
Now belongs to LeBron James.
All right, with a fadeaway step-back jumper, history was made. LeBron James, the new NBA scoring leader, a record that stood for nearly 40 years, held by the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Man, everybody that's ever been a part of this run with me the last 20 years, 20 plus years, all y'all help, all y'all passion, all y'all sacrifices helped me get to this point.
Wow. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on Thursday, February 2nd. It's Groundhog Day. I'm Candace Scalise with meteorologist Steve Knight, checking out what's happening right now with Punxsutawney and Gobbler's Knob, PA. Of course, we're all waiting to find out winter or spring. Is it in our future? And they're jamming this morning.
Yeah, they are. Well, you know, look, it's early February. You know, it's like, don't threaten me with a party, right?
Right.
So there you go.
This morning, it's the low before the high. Starting today at 4:20, all adults over the age of 21 will legally be able to buy recreational marijuana at Housing Works Cannabis Company in East Village, New York. Now, it is the first in New York State, by the way. So what's this budding industry doing next? Well, cannabis delivery has now been approved in the state. So they expect to start issuing licenses for weed delivery in the very next month.
To sell Happy Meals to adults. The new adult Happy Meals are called cactus plant flea market boxes.
What a name. Why don't you just call it adult Happy Meal?
I don't know. You can order them with a Big Mac or a 10-piece chicken McNugget. They come with fries, a drink, and get this, even a toy.
Nice.
Yeah, but the toys here are McDonald's famous mascots redesigned, including Grimace, Hamburglar, and Birdie. No word yet on how much this adult Happy Meal will cost. I forget the adult name.
I know, I have to look it up again. Yeah, it's like...
I think that's like wanting the Happy Meal, but not wanting to admit that it's a Happy Meal.
Cactus Plant Flea Market.
Okay.
Must be some type of sponsorship.
I guess.
They didn't
movie popcorn.
Yeah, nothing like it.
When I go to the movies, I got to get like the huge tub.
We would go with my extended family and buy one tub and pass it back and forth. You just never wanted to be on the end because then you always had to go and get the refills.
Yeah.
So there you go. So let's talk more about movies. Penn Stakes took a break from Pennsylvania sport books, and they ranked some of the best movies ever shot right here at home.
All right, these are movies shot in Pennsylvania. They ranked them from 1 to 5. Number 1 coming in with the 1991 film Silence of the Lambs, The First Avengers, 1999's The Sixth Sense, Batman: The Dark Knight Rises, and Silver Linings Playbook. The first Creed movie also made the list, along with the iconic 1976 classic Rocky,
which I've been told is a must-watch. Steve has given me a list this morning, actually, of movies I need to watch.
Couple
and
of
that's
movies,
on the list.
Couple of movies that she hasn't seen that she needs to watch. And I'm sorry, but the original Rocky from 1976 is the best movie ever shot in Pennsylvania. That's just my opinion, but I'm not wrong. But yeah, the other one I told you.
It's factual opinion.
Candace has never seen the first Rocky. I'm like, oh, Candace.
It's true.
And she's never seen the Shawshank Redemption.
I haven't.
I put it on her list.
I've also never seen Sixth Sense or Silence of the Lambs. So, like, I have a list that, or Back to the Future.
Have you seen The Wizard of Oz? Gone with the
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
Okay, let's take a walk down nostalgic lane. Nintendo's beloved game Super Mario Bros. Is heading to the big screen. She is headed back on tour. Queen Bee announcing the Renaissance World Tour on Instagram yesterday morning. It's going to feature music from her latest album, which has been garnering acclaim since it dropped last summer. Beyonce's official website says the tour will start in Stockholm, Sweden this May. It will wind through Europe and then come to Philadelphia in July, wrapping up in New Orleans in September. We are counting down to music's biggest night right here on CBS, Ranky Tanky. It's a South Carolina group that's been nominated for a second Grammy this year. Michelle Medina is introducing us to this group that is really breaking barriers with their unique style of music.
Your fever is well past 102.